Have you ever paused on a Sunday evening, sat back with a cup of coffee or tea in hand, and thought, where did this week go? And what did I actually learn that could help me live better? Well, if you've ever felt that way, you're not alone. Every week rushes by in a blur of headlines, to-do lists, news cycles, and financial noise. But beneath that noise, if we slow down and listen, there are always lessons. Real, practical, powerful lessons that can shift the way we think about money and how we live our lives. And today, I want to take you on a short journey through 5 of those lessons. 5 truths drawn from this past week that you can take and apply right now to improve your financial life. Let's take a breath and begin. Lesson 1. Budgeting is not a burden. It's your superpower. It was Thursday morning when I read about a new report from a popular budgeting app. The kind many of us download and forget about within a month. But what stood out wasn't the fancy graphs or the clever features. It was one simple finding. Users who reviewed their spending weekly, just once a week, were saving an average of 18% more than those who didn't. 18%. That's not small change. That's the difference between scraping by and having options. And it got me thinking. Most of us treat budgeting like a chore, something we do once, maybe at the start of the year, or when we feel guilty about overspending. But what if we flipped the script? What if, instead of viewing it as a punishment, we saw it as power, a way to reclaim control? Imagine this. Every Sunday evening, you take 10 minutes to sit with your bank app. You glance through your top 3 expenses, say, dining out, groceries, and subscriptions. And you ask yourself, not with judgment, but with curiosity, did I spend in alignment with what actually matters to me? Not what Instagram says, not what advertisers say, but what you truly value. Budgeting, it turns out, isn't about cutting back. It's about being intentional. And when you're intentional, you begin to unlock freedom. Lesson 2. Your emergency fund is emotional armor. This week, headlines buzzed with stories of economic uncertainty. Layoffs in one industry, supply chain issues in another, a hurricane disrupting production overseas, a ripple here, a shockwave there. And while these things might not have hit your wallet directly, they remind us of something important. Life is unpredictable, but your peace of mind doesn't have to be. Enter the emergency fund. You see, people often think of emergency savings as something dry and dull. But I think of it like this. Your emergency fund is emotional armor. It's the cushion between you and chaos. It's the quiet confidence that says, I'll be okay. I've got this. Think about how it feels to go to bed knowing that even if your car breaks down, even if you lose your job, even if an unexpected bill lands in your lap, you have 3 to 6 months of essential expenses saved. That's not just money, that's security. That's self-care. And unlike an insurance policy, this one pays out with peace of mind. So if you've been meaning to start or grow your emergency fund, let this be your nudge. You don't have to save thousands overnight. Just begin. Maybe $20 this week, maybe $50 next. But begin. Your future self will thank you. Lesson 3. Investing is a long game. Ignore the drama. This week, the markets did what they often do. They moved. Up, down, sideways. Tech stocks jumped. Then they slipped. Inflation news caused a stir. Analysts made predictions. Social media lit up with hot takes. And while everyone else was reacting, the smart investors were doing something different. They were sitting still. Because here's what they know. The market isn't a casino. It's a long-term wealth engine. And the way you win isn't by guessing what'll happen tomorrow. It's by staying consistent over time. Let me tell you a little story. A young woman named Maya started investing in index funds at 24. She didn't try to time the market. She didn't follow trends. She just put in $300 every month, no matter what the headlines said. By 44, she was a millionaire. Not because she was lucky, not because she picked the perfect stock, but because she understood the power of compounding and the value of staying the course. So when you hear the noise, when fear sets in or greed tempts you, pause, take a breath, ask yourself, am I investing for the next 5 days or the next 5 decades? Let your answer guide you, because the real win is in the waiting. Lesson 4. Credit isn't evil. But bad habits are some headlines this week were enough to make anyone shiver. Credit card interest rates hit a new high. The kind of high that turns a $1,000 balance into a slow, painful burden. And yet, for all the warnings, credit isn't the villain. The real problem? How we use it. Think of credit like fire. In the right hands, it cooks meals, lights homes, warms families. In the wrong hands, it burns everything down. Used wisely, credit builds your score. It opens doors to better loans, better apartments, better opportunities. Used recklessly, it traps you in a cycle of minimum payments and sleepless nights. So what's the lesson here? It's time to treat credit like the powerful tool it is, with respect. If you're carrying credit card debt, make a plan. Tackle the highest interest balances first. Or, if motivation is what you need, start with the smallest and build momentum. Automate minimum payments. Avoid late fees like the plague. And if you're rebuilding, consider a secured card. Low risk, high potential. Credit can work for you, but only if you're the one in control. Lesson 5. Knowledge is the most underrated asset you own. I stumbled across a fascinating stat this week. People who spend just 15 minutes a day learning about money, whether through podcasts, books, or videos, are 3 times more likely to hit their financial goals. Think about that. Not working longer hours, not making more money, just learning. A little. Every day. Why? Because knowledge reduces fear. And when fear is gone, action follows. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a financial decision. A new investment. A side hustle. A mortgage. A retirement plan. Now imagine you've already read about it. Watched a video. Heard a story. Suddenly that decision doesn't feel scary. It feels familiar. That's the power of financial literacy. It's not about being an expert. It's about being informed, confident, empowered. So here's my challenge to you. Spend 15 minutes a day getting a little smarter about your money. Choose one area. Maybe it's budgeting, or ETFs, or retirement accounts, or cryptocurrency. Then go learn. Watch a video. Read an article. Listen to a podcast while you walk. Make learning your habit, because the smartest investors aren't always the wealthiest. But the wealthiest, almost always the most informed. A moment to reflect. So here we are. 5 lessons. 5 truths from the past week. But I want to pause here. Not to rush on, but to breathe and reflect. Because financial wisdom isn't just about facts. It's about you, your mindset, your habits, your small daily choices that compound over time. So ask yourself, which of these 5 lessons resonates the most right now? Maybe it's budgeting. Maybe it's that emergency fund you've been putting off. Maybe it's the realization that investing isn't about adrenaline, it's about discipline. Or maybe it's that quiet whisper inside telling you it's time to finally learn. Wherever you are, start there. Pick one thing from this list and apply it this week. Not all 5, just one. Because progress isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up. One decision, one habit, $1 at a time. And if you keep showing up day by day, week by week, your future won't just improve. It will transform. Before we go, let's quickly recap the 5 lessons we've uncovered in this week's wrap-up. Budgeting is your superpower, not your burden. Emergency funds are emotional armor, and peace of mind in a bank account. Investing is a long game, not a daily drama. Credit is a tool, but only when used with care. Financial literacy is your most underrated asset, and it multiplies everything. Each one of these is a seed, and when you plant it, nurture it, protect it, give it time, it grows into confidence, into clarity, into freedom. Until next time. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the lessons of the week. If this episode spoke to you, I invite you to share it with a friend or someone in your life who might be walking the same path. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel so you never miss a step forward. Your financial future isn't built in a day, but it is built, brick by brick, week by week, and you're already building it by being here, by learning, and by taking action. So until next time, stay focused, stay consistent, and keep reaching for your Asset Zenith. I'll see you in the next video.